Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's Maxine English, and I'm coming to you today with Stage 25 speakers, 5-minute speakers, 10-minute speakers, basically the people we're going to bring to you at the Empowerment Weekend. I mean, some of you actually tuned into us yesterday where me and Bradley did a 10-hour marathon, and we just literally got on the, we was in Alfie Best Place, we was doing a day in the life of a millionaire, or multi-millionaire, I should say. And, you know, we was talking to Alfie during the day in between meetings, and we got to have interview him at the end of the day, which is absolutely amazing. Quite strange to be put on the spot and asked to actually ask quite a few questions. I was like, wasn't prepared. So that was actually quite funny. So yeah, it's very much that I thought, well, today it's all about the Stage 25 and 5 and 10-minute speakers, and see what we can get to know about them, because at the end of the day, it's the Empowerment Weekend. We've got over 45 different speakers that are coming. And, you know, we've got international speakers, multi-millionaires. We've got people that are aspiring to get millionaires. We've got people that have been doing it for a while. We've also got people that have actually never, ever stood on stage before. And we've even got youngsters, you know, because it doesn't matter how old or how young you are. It's very much everybody can get involved. And Brad's mum's even coming as well. So how good's that? We've got Daniela Westbrook. So we've got a celebrity there as well. So she's going to be covered by the papers and the magazines. We're also looking to do a documentary, and also getting speakers going to magazine and actually get our magazine out, Inspired to Achieve. So there is so much going on with us on this side, and it's absolutely amazing that there is, you know, so much going on that we can help other people with, and that's what it's all about. And this is the reason why we're doing, you know, all the interviews that we are, because we don't want you to miss out on anything that we're actually doing, because it's all there to help you in the long run. So today I've got a lovely guest with me. Now this guest here is Maxine. I'm just going to hide that so we can take that off. So, Mac, introduce who you are, what you do, and let the people know exactly, you know, about you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maxine. I wear many hats. One of the hats I actually wear, I'm one of the Wolverhampton City councillors, which is part of the UK, and so I'm a stroke politician. I'm an evangelist, I'm a business owner. I'm part of the sports committee. I've got a sports background, now coming author. So I wear all those various hats. Yeah, that's a bit about me.
Okay, so when you say that you basically with the council, what is it you do on the council?
Oh, in a nutshell, I'm basically the caretaker of my ward, my constituency. So I listen to residents' problems, feed them back to the council, deal with those issues with the officers, and hopefully we come up with a solution for the residents of my ward, my constituency. So,
fantastic.
And if there's any laws change, if we need to feed back any laws, we do that on part of the council. So
basically you help everybody, really, don't you?
That's right. So and I believe that's my true calling. As I said, I'm part of my evangelism. I do sermons based on the true callings, and as a speaker as well. So I do seminars based on what is your true calling.
Fantastic. Right, Susan, thank you very much. That'd be amazing if you could start a watch party. That would be absolutely beautiful. Also, we've had Inspired to Achieve TV come in. So if you could let me know who you are. You said hello, but you haven't put your name. You've got to remember it comes up Inspired to Achieve Global TV. So it is one of our broadcasters. We just don't know who. So you saying about your true calling. You're saying about obviously helping other people. You said you do sermons, and you also, you know, public speak.
That's right.
When you come to the Empowerment Weekend, what do you want to give to the people?
Well, I want people to understand that we have a powerful mind, and it's our mindset which controls us, and we've all been given a talent, and we should have a vision towards that talent. And so, a bit about me. My vision began when I was about 7 years old, and at that time, I didn't know what a vision board was. It's gone back a few years, and I
it's about 15, 20. It's fine.
Yeah, that's right. So, so I saw this particular Bollywood actor on screen, a particular film I watched. His name was from Bollywood, and he had this muscular Hercules look about him, and so I wanted to become him. So I plastered my room with bodybuilder pictures and pictures of this particular actor, and as I grew older, those pictures changed, and Arnold Schwarzenegger became part of that images on the wall, and that became my vision. And my parents, my grandma in particular, was concerned because I've got this naked bodybuilder pictures all plastered around my room, and she's saying, she's a bit concerned. So, and as many times she's had the wallpaper changed, had the pictures tear down. So I'll talk about that in my seminars, how people, friends, families tear down your dreams. So going back to the power of vision. So like I said, at the age of 13, the vision increased, and I started weight training and became part of a sport called powerlifting, just to live that vision of becoming the Arnold Schwarzenegger, becoming the Minder of Bollywood. And at the age of 14, I started competing in the sport of powerlifting, and I got awarded and announced the strongest 14-year-old throughout the whole of the UK. And I achieved the same award the year after. And so that dream became larger. And then at the age, I'm going forward, at the age of 20, I won the British Powerlifting Championships. And that was my target. And I was interviewed in a lot of magazines, radio stations. And then a few months later, I was called for an audition for a movie. And I went along, auditioned for the movie, and I walked into the offices. I could recognize the name, I could see pictures on the wall. And when the role was given to me, just before I walked out, I asked the director, and she's a famous director. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me mentioning her name. Grinda Jadda, who directed Bendy Like Beckham. She offered me the role. But before I walked out, I said, I recognize the name, but could you tell me who the producer is? She said, well, no, it is. It's on the wall. And so it was no other than the actor I wanted to be, the age of 7, is the producer. So that's a power of vision, and that's what I share. That was quickly in a nutshell, how the power of having a vision works, and working and believing that you can achieve it and changing the mindset.
Absolutely. So, and the thing is, and I suppose it was easier as well in the respect of that, it was like, because your family didn't know that that's what you wanted to do, and they just assumed without even talking to you about it and everything else. And it was very much that it was the unknown, and it was like they didn't want to talk to you about it, but every time they changed your wallpaper, they literally just ripped it down and it took your dreams away. But did that make you more, I'm actually going to do this, I'm going to keep putting them back up, I'm going to be determined, I'm going to be ambitious, and I'm going to get there?
That's right. The determination and the hunger grew even more. Not just to prove to myself, but prove to my family that it can be achieved. And so, yeah, and the proof is in the pudding, like they say. I always share this, that my grandma, I don't know if you know that show called Neighbours, Australian show.
Cool, years ago.
That's right. So years ago, Charlene and Scott used to be there. They used to kiss, and she used to call me and say, "Come on, learn something," because she's worried about those naked bodybuilders with all oil on my walls. But again, the lack of vision they had, and they couldn't see what I had. Yeah.
Do you think it came with a generation? Because it's very much that, I talk to my mum now. My mum's like 75 years old in a couple of weeks, and it's very much that she's not really open-minded. She's not really, open like we are at our generation. It's very much that, it doesn't matter what colour you are, what race you are. It doesn't matter, what religion you are. Everybody bleeds the same blood and everything else. Where back in the day, it was unheard of. And it was very much that, if you've got someone that's walking in that, like a male walking hand in hand, or a female, and then she looks at them and she goes, "Look at the state of that." And you're like, "Mum, stop it." Because it just wasn't back in them days.
That's right, it wasn't back in them days. But for my grandma at the time, obviously there was in that generation that they understand. But for me, it was more of the vision of those sports, those athletes, and becoming like Arnold Schwarzenegger and becoming like the Hercules of Bollywood at the time. And so, and let's say that's the power of vision, and that's what I will be speaking about at the event. And and making people, helping people understand that we can achieve desire. That we've heard this many times. Desire in the Latin form is of the Father. It's already in us. So we just need to tap into that hidden desire and let people realize. And it's all about conditioning the mind and having that direction.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about this yesterday when we had Greg Walker online, and it's very much that, you know, and I believe it completely. It is literally all about mindset. It's all about, as long as you've got the right mindset, you can go and do anything you want to, as long as then you take the action with it. And if you've got those two things, you know, sky's the limit.
And then taking action towards those goals. So I've had that journey. You know, what we've heard, and one of the chapters in the book is life is like a train. So we have these journeys. The stops are the chapters in our lives, and so we have, we have these journeys, and we have people coming.
Oh, we've lost your sound. You went all funny, and we lost your sound. We can't hear you. That's it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you now.
Brilliant. So yeah, like I said, life is like a train. It's a journey. So my journey, so from being the sportsman, and then entering to Bollywood, and then from there, the new chapter, the stop in my life, as a train stops, the chapters in life, was becoming an evangelist and setting up my own business. So for me, it became how can I make a difference to people's lives? Because many came up to me being a sportsman, being involved in films and running my business as a recruitment and training agency. They don't know what to do. And I thought I'm going to challenge myself to help individuals, to help them tap into what they really should do. So yeah, that's basically, that's our journey now.
Fantastic. And then that's the thing, it's very much that, you know, you've got to go where your visions are, because dreams are just dreams if you do nothing with them.
That's right.
When you actually take the reality with your vision, then you make it an action. And when you take your vision with an action, it makes it a reality. That's what I was meant to say.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's very much like it's good that you've done that. So when you actually did your bodybuilding side of it, and you became exactly what you want to do, you hit your goal. Did you decide afterwards to go, right, okay, I've hit my goal, I'm going to do something else, or did you go further with it?
Well, I won the British Powerlifting Championships, and I felt I've achieved my goal. I wanted to achieve the British title, but the back of my mind has always been that I want to achieve the World Championships as well. But it just worked out as a flow, that the dream of wanting to enter into movies and work in Bollywood happened just soon after, not too far long after I actually won the British Powerlifting Championship. So, and at that time I was studying at university and achieving a degree in business studies, and ran my own gymnasium part-time. So I opened a gymnasium at the age of 19. Yep. That was one of the dreams. So yeah, so it came to a standstill. I'm actually working out now, training now to make a comeback in the Masters Championships over 40s. And like you said, I don't look it, but yes, so I'm competing towards that. So I will fulfill that dream. So the aim is to win the British again in the Masters, qualify for the European World Championships.
Fantastic. So let's go back to some of these queries, these comments. I can't even speak today. It's the reason why I took a bit of time out to actually get some sleep and some rest.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a busy day yesterday. So being called Buns did nothing for my self-esteem. That was Robert Brooker, where he used to do weightlifting when he was younger. He also put powerlifts didn't hit max strength until 48. Last I heard. Oh, you're so comical, Robert. You've also got Galia. She's coming in from Bulgaria. She's saying hello. You've also and also Rob Brookett's coming from Toronto in Canada. You've got Susan Day, who's coming in from Oregon in the USA. And we've got some other people online as well. I mean, at the end of the day, if there's any questions that anybody likes to ask over this course of the interviews that I've got going on, you're more than welcome to. You know that. I mean, you know, I'm very easygoing, and Everything is very much that we're all here for you. We're all here to give you content, tell you exactly who these people are, and it's raw. And you know, we're all human. And if you want to ask a question, then ask Mac a question. I mean, I'm sure he'll be open to asking something that you've got going on. So when you went into Bollywood, what made you change from doing your weights to going into Bollywood?
Well, the dream, the vision. So when I entered into Bollywood, like I said, I grew up wanting to be a particular actor in Bollywood, and it was his production company who flew me over to Bollywood to train me as a stuntman and acting skills and dance skills, and I became a member of that group of friends of my role models, and so the ambition of wanting to enter into films grew, and I wanted to become a talent within that area. So I began working on my dance skills, my stunt work, and so forth. And so it was a great period of time at that time. Yeah. So and the vision grew larger, and so and I able to achieve that when the first film was released. And I played a villain.
So you came out of that and you went into public speaking.
Right.
And what made you literally? That's like from one thing to the extreme, something completely different.
Right.
What was the vision for that one? What was your why?
No, well, there's a lot of factors because the why. First one, I was really shy, believe it or not, and as a sportsman and having a little experience in Bollywood and acting, I had a lot of individuals and youngsters brought by their parents to help break patterns in their life. So I became, the public speaking was an add-on from the how I can make a difference in people's lives. So, and then at the same time, it helped me build more confidence in myself. And over the period of time, through holding training sessions within our offices and our training centers, we found that youngsters or individuals, the reason they fail from moving forward into their dreams and hidden desires is the lack of confidence. So I thought if I can just change the confidence element of their lives, I've done my job, and they'll move forward. So the whole purpose of the public speaking began because of that.
Absolutely, and that's lovely, because it's like, you know, it seems to be that everything that you've done, you've had this vision, you know what you want to do, and you've just gone for it, you know. Sure. And that is a man after my own heart, because I'm exactly that person. And so many people, it frustrates me when I see people going, I really need to do this, but I don't. So why don't you? And it's like, I don't know. And you get that all the time.
Well, this is where the direction of building a vision board, or, you know, as many listeners or viewers, they know about the vision board. So it gives a bit of an indication, a direction, something further than the eye can see. So, and sometimes it may not happen soon at that present moment. I believe through the step-by-step approaches, and then you take baby steps to build upon the dream, and it might happen in an explosion. You know, like I had that phone call, would you want to appear in a movie? And yeah, it could happen, something similar like that.
Yeah, and that's great. It's the fact is that you've got that kind of that oomph again, like with you and stuff like that. And you know, and now obviously you speak on the council and you help everybody else out, and that's such a lovely thing to do. So when you actually come to the Empowerment Weekend, which is the 2nd and 3rd of February, what are you looking to get out of the day or the weekend?
I'm a person who has a great thirst of wisdom, and I believe, and not just myself, hundreds of or thousands of people who are going to be attending. They're going to get to learn something new, and it's the wisdom they're going to obtain. So there's a lot of key speakers who will be speaking on various subjects, and that'll be, for me, that'll be adding on to the wisdom, how I can take that on board and help in the field I'm in, help individuals in the field I'm in, help me grow within the business, help me grow as an individual, and I believe everybody else will. And I have been watching the videos and the interviews with other key speakers, and it's been amazing. I've learned a lot, and or even woke up a few areas I knew, but I thought, oh gosh, that's true, whatever they said, and it'll help them tap into their true callings. We all have that calling, in whatever field it is, and I believe these key speakers will help us individually. So
absolutely. You know, the reason why we do this, ladies and gents, you know, when it comes down to doing all these interviews, it's very much that we want to get you to get to know the speakers that are coming on stage. We also are trying to say to you, you know, these are the kind of things, these are the kind of nuggets that you're getting just by us doing interviews. You know, we sit and we chat and we talk, and, you know, we go through a little bit about their life. So at least you know what kind of background they come from, because some people just expect that people that are up there have always been up there, and it's like, oh, it's all right for them, they've always been there. And you do get that, and you do hear that, but the fact is that you probably say that most of these people have actually come from bottom as bottom. You know, they've come from loads of adversity, they've you know, done lots of different failures in their business and picked themselves up and moved themselves on, you know, but they've all got exactly the same thing, which is they've all got the right mindset and they've all got the action behind it. And that's something that I've picked up with every single one that I've spoken to. And I sit there and think, do you know what? I've got the action, I've got the mindset, it's all good. I'm on my way. You know, because that's 50%, you know, action and actually doing it, because well, 50% on each. Yeah, so it's very much, you know, it's getting yourself out there and making sure you can move yourself forward. So for the tickets that were actually going to be there at the Empowerment Weekend are like £24.50. Now, I said to Greg Walker yesterday and Tony J. Salimi, sorry, I've got cat hair on my nose. Yeah, it's very much that when it comes down to the people that you're going to be seeing now, not only they're the top of their game, the multimillionaires have been doing business for like 30, 40, 50 years, some of them. And the thing is when you're actually going there, even for a very bare minimum at £24.50 for just a standard seating, for what you're going to get, it's like £1 an hour. You know, because you've got 12 hours on Saturday, 12 hours on Sunday, and it's £1. Now, when I spoke to Alfie Best yesterday, and he turned around and said to me that he charges £1,000 an hour to be with somebody. £1,000 an hour. I mean, yes, that would be absolutely amazing to do that. But Alfie's going to be there at that weekend, and he's actually going to give you his time. And he's going to go through some little nuggets. He's going to give you some information, and he's going to go through things. And he even said yesterday he's going to pick people out of the audience, and actually, you know, 2 or 3 people out of the audience, get them stand up on stage and actually give them some nuggets in their life to actually help them move themselves forward there and then while he's on stage. That there is just amazing on its own. And the thing is, it's like, you know, we've got all these other speakers that are coming on board, and they're just out of this world. And that's the reason why we've been coming to you as much as we possibly can, to get you to see, to understand, and to go through everything with you to say how amazing they are. Because you're not going to get this kind of, I'd say, celebrity world of the speaker world. Really, it is the top of the speakers. It's like, you know, to try and get all these people together over one weekend is normally unheard of. So to actually get this is an amazing thing. So Mac, how do you feel about being a part of this?
Well, I'm super excited and blessed at the same time. Like you said, there's a group of amazing speakers, and it's going to be a blessed weekend. A lot to take on, and like you said, it's never happened before. Celebrity speakers, and they're all celebrity speakers. They've all got something to offer, something for us to learn and apply into our lives, to take our lives to new levels, businesses to new levels, or whatever platforms we're on. It's going to take us to new levels, and the price that people have to pay is nothing compared to you know, £24.99 or £25 rounded off. It's you can't even go out for a night out for that amount. Right. And so right. This weekend is going to be so amazing. It's going to be a buzz full of energy. I can see from the speakers we already have been watching so far, and the wealth of information it's going to come across. It's once in a lifetime to get something like this. Hopefully there'll be more coming forward, but this is your moment, guys. Buy your tickets, come along, not just hear me, but all the other key speakers, which can make a difference to your lives.
Absolutely. And Richard Frey, just to let you know, I hope you're listening. I sent you a link to come on the actual interview so I can actually interview you as well. It's in your WhatsApp. All you've got to do is click on it and you can come in. So he's been asking me for weeks, Maxine, when are you going to interview me? So I said to him, come in at 10:02. He's sitting on the other side. Bless him. But you can come in now. So Richard, come and get yourself into link, my darling. Yeah.
Come on, Richard.
Yeah, come on, Richard. Get yourself in there. So if you want a ticket, all you got to do is click that link down there. I'll actually stick it on the comments box, so at least then you've got that. And all you got to do is when you click that link, it will take you straight to Eventbrite. Now you'll have different places. Here he comes. You'll have different places that you can go to. You've got the 2450, but you've also got the next size up. You've got the next one up to that. And you've got like your bronze, silver, gold, and then obviously you've got your diamond. Now with that, you go from a standard seating to front row seating. And from front row seating, you then get to go onto the VIP. You also get to, go and see the people at the back, go and see the speakers, interact with them, network with them, find out some more information while you're there, have pictures taken, get one of Brad's book, get it signed. There's so many things that you can get by going for the half price ticket, which is £198.50. So, who we got here? Mr. Richard Fay.
Hello, Maxine.
How are you doing?
I'm probably in your doghouse because I was 16 minutes overrun tonight.
Yeah, how rude's that? And then you go into the other side.
Sorry, well, I think it's one of my most powerful ones yet.
That's all right. That's all right. So, Mac, are you happy to stay on while I'm talking to Richard, or did you need to leave?
Yeah, I'll stay in. That's no problem.
Yeah,
okay. With you guys.
Yeah, that's cool. That's absolutely fine with us. So, yeah, Richard.
Tonight I was talking about social interaction and change.
Okay, we'll talk about that after. Richard, concentrate, focus. Richard is an amazing guy, right? This guy here is an autistic champion, and me and Richard we go through quite a lot together, and Bradley, we all go through quite a lot together. We talk at least on a daily basis, and we go through everything that we can with him. And when it comes down to stretching his mind, we come down to giving him jobs to do that he's never done before, that before the anxiety kicks in, we make sure we talk him down, make sure he focuses, and we get him to do it himself. This is something that he's never done before. Something,
all right, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah. And sometimes we go a little bit off the rails, don't we? We have to pull you back, and then you're fine, and we deal with it. And that's basically what it's all about.
I'm just an angel.
So you say. So yeah. Richard's one of our 12 ambassadors, and he's been with us probably for about a couple of months now, Richard?
A little bit longer than that.
A little bit longer? Okay.
So it must be 3 or 4 months, or a bit more.
Is it been that long? Oh, okay. Yeah. So in short words, and I don't want no tangents, I just want you to focus for me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. This is another thing with Richard. Is we stretch Richard, so we make sure that we get him to focus, because being autistic, there's so much of a massive spectrum. There's a lot of things that happen, and I've got a daughter that goes for the same spectrum, so it's like I know how to deal with Richard.
There's actually 5 different categories of autistic and definitions for diagnosis.
Okay. How about you do the 5 definitions, but don't explain what they all are, because we will be here all day.
Well, 2 of them, autism disorder, which atypical high functioning comes under, and Asperger's syndrome are the 2 major ones. They've cut out 1 or 2 because it's like just complicates it, but there's so many variations of everything, of each one. So yeah, I always knew I was. I told you a story about Belgium and other things where I went off piece, as they say, and caused my mum pandemonium. Right,
we won't talk about Belgium. Let's talk about the 4 things that we're going to go through. So you've got the high functioning autistic, you've got the Asperger's. Yeah. What was the other 2?
Well, dyspraxia used to be, and sort of thing used to be coordination stuff, but they've changed the definition recently, which I'm not too pleased about, because some people being failed in schools and as adults. So there's a few things to campaign on, really.
Yeah. So what about the other one? What's the other one that you've got?
Right, we'll get back to you on that, because I was looking at it on Google and it's just saying it all. I go make my notes for that. And the thing that freaked me out tonight was I was talking to my other half, and she hasn't got a signal. How can I do a video call to her and actually be connected when she hasn't got a signal? Doesn't that just...
So this is the lovely Richard Fay, right? And with Richard, because he's a high functioning autistic, and you will find that what we do, and this is how we teach Richard, because it's very much that, you know, when it comes into business, it's all about focusing, it's all about learning, it's all about taking action, and it's all about mindset. Now, Richard's got an amazing mindset in the respect he knows what he wants to do and he wants to take action, and he just sometimes gets a little bit stuck with it. And you will notice, me and myself and Brad, we both do it, that Richard goes off on a tangent and we talk over him to make him stop. And the reason, so we're not being rude, it's just something that we both do to make sure that he comes back into focus. And so just so you ladies and gentlemen know, we do this for a reason, because otherwise Richard will go off on a tangent and we'll be talking about 6 different stories and get completely lost. But he's an amazing guy and he's absolutely lovely, and he knows exactly where he wants to go in life. He knows exactly what he wants to be. So Richard,
yeah, my twin goals, my twin visions, my twin legacies, yeah.
So when you come to the empowerment weekend,
disabilities and autism, you know, change the world, as in people's and ignorance and hate and abuse.
Yeah,
I was talking about we need loving, cooperative, harmonious, strong communities, not divided by hate. That's what I was talking about tonight. Talking about the differences between normal people, how they cope with the massive change and social interaction, and me. And I have never had 100 views in the time of my actual time of my show yet, but tonight I achieved that.
Well done. And you know what? You do have a lot of people that come to you on a lot of different wavelengths, because even you've helped with my daughter, and you've spoken to Jasmine, and
well,
you know
how are you doing with that? She's doing
yeah,
really well.
She's all right. She's all right. Yeah. And the thing is, like my daughter's got anxiety disorder, and she's also got Tourette's. She's got ADHD. So it's very much that I do understand Richard in a lot of ways. And it was like, you know, when she goes for anxiety, you know, she really does go into it. So I know when Richard rings me and he says, Max, I need you like now. we have a bit of talk down, don't we? We make sure we
there have been times. To be frank, there are times when I have a complete meltdown. And not to, you know, I've had that one on the coaching call, and I was embarrassed by it, and then someone explained that, you know, I was brought up and men had to be strong, they can't cry, they can't show their emotions. I was really embarrassed about it. Then someone explained it, you know, it's not a weakness, it's strength. And that made me feel better, because, and I've had meltdowns out in Centre Breed, been taken brought back by the PCSOs and sat with and calmed down. It's like, and about what they're about, I have no idea.
So this is going to be the first weekend that you're going to be standing on stage, and you're actually going to give your talk. The amount of, I mean, I know you stood on stage in front of about 30, 40, 50 people.
Yeah, well, that was massive, and I've done 500 lives on Facebook since then.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you feel now that when you stand up on that stage, you're going to be more confident in yourself, and is the anxiety you feel going to come down a little bit?
I would hope I was majorly confident. I would try to be as confident as I could be. The anxiety will be there. I just have to try to manage it as much as possible. I need my hand held a little bit, Maxine.
If you need me to be there to hold your hand, I will be there to hold your hand.
You know, it's a case, Bradley says, now you've got to talk about the programs and stuff. I've been talking to Ash Cotter about this. He wants to connect with people and to do autism in Wales and stuff. And I would like him to work on helping me develop programs. I want to go back to Bath on the 8th of February and talk to the team about helping me develop programs and courses and what else to do what I want to do. And I could talk about, it'll be about social interaction, it'll be about integration, it'll be about a whole lot of things that we have difficulty with. It'll be about improving eye contact, it'll be about how to handle certain situations. and that's fine. But surely part of my talk's got to be about where I started from and how I got to the present day. And that's maybe and Bradley don't see too eye to eye on that. We do see eye to eye, but you know, it's like a little bit of a. But I gotta be myself. Can't be who I'm not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, it's like, you know, you're going to stand there. And sorry, I'm just there's a couple of other people saying they're trying to get in, and the link's not working. Hang on one second. Sorry.
Moments. It's like and run backstage. I want to do it. It's like I hope that doesn't happen. You know what I would like,
Richard. Don't worry. You know, I know when it comes down to you being there, yes, your anxiety is going to kick in. It happens. It's normal. But as I said to you, if you need someone there, I'm there. I can even stand next to you the whole time that you're talking on stage if you want to. It's not a problem. Yeah, that's what we do. You know, we're all about, we're a family. Yeah, and when it comes down to helping each other, that's exactly what we're all about. Now, Richard, just you're on here with Mac at the moment.
Hello,
now, Max fell asleep.
Hi, Richard.
Do feel free to go on to my Inspired to Achieve Global TV and watch my live for tonight and comment if you want to, Mac.
Well, what I wanted to say to Mac is, Mac, Richard's a high functioning autistic. Oh, Philip's had his ears lowered. Hi, Philip.
Hello, Philip.
Hi there. I just got home and I saw the message. I thought I'd come and have a chat with you all.
Absolutely. We're just talking to Richard at the moment, and I'll get over to you in just a moment. Okay. Right. Okay. So with Mac now, Richard's a high functioning autistic, and Mac works with the council, and he helps out residents and stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, Mac, do you work personally with people in your area and what you do? Would you work with someone like Richard and sort something out to, I don't know, rewrite history if you wanted to say something, and how to work them or how they get extra help and actually expand themselves and becoming entrepreneurs or something like that?
Well, I do work with my residents, and what I could advise Richard, if someone had autism, I would get the right help within the council, the right officers, the right departments to guide and counsel us towards individuals who went through autism. But I would if they had an ambition, a dream to become an entrepreneur, I would guide and counsel them to the best of my ability to do that, so they can live their passion. I wanted to achieve that.
Absolutely. You know, in Bristol, I took part in the Autistic Forum. You know, it's like, and we got attention and we criticised it because it's like, say all these things and we say what we felt and we didn't think we were being listened to, but they seem to get that message, oh, you like it. So I was a bit of a thorn in the side, and I actually cornered the mayor eyeball to eyeball and told him what I thought of it. That doesn't surprise you, Max. And I had a great support worker who actually was born up the road from where I live now. And because ESA stopped because I inherited money, I get PIP still, but I don't get ESA.
Richard, more about the empowerment weekend, my love. It was just a quick question to help out, to mingle in when it comes down to, listen, comes down to someone that works with the council and working with autistic people to help them move forward.
I would like to work with councils. I want to work with mental health for people. I want them to...
What I can suggest, what Richard can become, sorry, Richard, just breaking in there.
No, sorry, Richard.
You become a role model, become an example to the community in Bristol, and to become a voice for those who are suffering from autism and what more should be done. Become that role model, become that guide, and I believe that you have to become an example, set examples. And Richard, you could be the person in Bristol and hopefully UK and internationally to become that voice.
Well, I live in Wales now, so I have to be an example here. But I still go back.
Oh, Wales! Oh, yes, Wales.
I still go to Bristol and support my community once or twice a month. But, you
Okay,
know,
so Richard, focus, my love. Listen to what he's trying to say to you. Listen to what he's trying to say to you. What he's saying is for something that he does and something that he knows about, right?
Okay.
Is that he's saying that you could help out other autistic people that want to move forward in their business.
That's what the division I hope will be about. So
yeah. So Mac, you now know, and you've gone on live with. Okay. Obviously, he's in the Birmingham, Bristol area. You're in the Wales area. Talk to each other, if that's okay with you, Mac.
I'm in Pontypridd.
I'm in Wolverhampton, West Midlands.
So it's like.
And perhaps you can perhaps talk to each other and see what Mac perhaps can answer you a couple of questions for you to actually help you move yourself around the country or in Wales or whatever you need to do to actually help other autistic people, because I know that's what you want to do. You want to help other people.
Yeah, and me and Ash Cotter as well wants to help me to do that. He's trying to arrange meetings and stuff for me.
Okay.
I have a lot of connections in Wales. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm an evangelist, born again Christian, and we come and speak at various churches in Wales, and we're trying to put sports teams together, football teams, and encourage individuals to live their dreams and become entrepreneurs. So I would like to come and visit you, Richard, and let's see how we can move forward. And then get the local councillors and local.
I got 4 bedrooms here. I can put you up. You're welcome to come in.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. God bless you.
But Max can't because of the kids. Unfortunately, I always.
I won't bring the kids with me. Right. Well, Richard and Mac, I want to say thank you very much for being here. I'm going to put you both down, and hopefully I'll speak to you both again soon. And Mac, Richard, keep in touch. You know, there's Facebook there, and see what you can both do to help each other.
You can get me on Facebook or you can get me on Messenger. It's easy enough to find me.
That's fine. Richard, say goodbye, my love.
Goodbye. Actually,
have a blessed day, guys. Live your dreams. God bless.
Job tomorrow. Sort my laptop out.
Okay, let's bring Farah up. Right, okay, well, there you go. We just had Richard Fay online, and we've also just had Maxine. Maxine comes from, you know, in the Bristol, Wolverhampton area, and with that, he's a councillor on the local council, and he helps out all the residents, and he's become a public speaker. He was an actor, as well as a bodybuilder, and become a champion. So that's absolutely amazing. And then we also had the autistic champion on as well, which is obviously one of our 12 ambassadors, Richard Singh. So now we'll come on to their next ones. Philip, if you can just bring yourself up a little bit more, my darling. At the moment, I can see you from the nose upwards, because where you're.
I'm not sure.
Are you leaning your phone?
No,
right.
I'm actually on my tablet.
That's it. Just bring it down slightly, just so I can. You need to have less up here and more down here.
Something like that.
Other way round. You got all the ceiling in. I need you to put yourself in the middle of the screen.
Yeah. Oh.
That's it. Farah, if you come over as well, my darling, so we can get you fully in the screen.
Okay.
Am I in the middle?
Come a little bit closer, Richard. Oh, Farah's disappeared. Oh, you're back again.
Can you see me now?
That's it. I can see you. It's just you're sitting at the bottom of the screen, and you've got a load of white above you. I'm just trying to get you in the middle of the screen.
Am I in the middle?
No, forward. Go forward, Richard.
Oh, fine.
Richard, go forward. Philip, sorry. I don't know what I'm saying, Richard. Philip, go forward.
Yep. Tell me when.
Keep going forward. Keep coming forward. That's it. Just stay there.
Okay.
That's perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right. Okay. So we've got Mr. Philip Chan, and we've got Miss Farah Butt, and these are our next 2 speakers that are coming into you today. We was going to be finishing at 9:30, but we're not going to be finishing them. We're going to obviously speak to these people. It's like we're trying to work around people's working times and what they're doing, and then obviously being out and stuff like that. So, Philip, as you're here, you have decided to be one of our speakers at our Empowerment Weekend, which we're really looking forward to seeing you. So explain to people very quickly who you are and what you do.
Well, originally I was only just coming to support my friends at the event, and they're very kindly, Bradley said, yeah, can you come on 10 minutes on?
Oh, we've lost Philip.
Oh, can you hear me?
Philip, we've not got a lot of internet connection. You keep cutting out.
I can
Oh,
hear you.
I am as well.
I can hear you clearly, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so so Bradley very kindly offered me to come and to speak for 10 minutes. I'm known as the 10-second maths expert, and obviously I teach kids to do mathematics in under 10 seconds. Once I've shared with them the technique. Actually, when I saw your thing, I wasn't sure this call was about, but actually, my other role is I'm actually a dignity champion for mental illness.
Yeah, and you're going to be speaking on stage, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to be speaking on that stage, and at the moment, I'm just looking forward to find out what's going to come out of my mouth. Because often when I speak, I think I'm going to say something, but then something different comes out of my mouth, and then all of a sudden it takes up from there. So at the moment, I think I know what I'm going to be talking about, but I would be very surprised on the day if what I think is going to come out is going to be what I think will come out, but it'd be something totally different. I want to share something on maths, but actually there's other important things. Is picking on what Richard's saying, you see, the key thing with anything to do with social service is they got this procedure. It's almost like conveyor belt. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can't deviate from that. So therefore, the common sense factor sometimes goes out the window. They said, everyone one size fit all, and that is the challenge sometimes when the modern living in even in schools. There seems to be a system. Then every lesson has to be taught in a very prescribed way. And if you don't do this way, according to Ofsted, the people who actually are in control of the quality control, they said this is the only way you do things, and it's not one size do not fit all, and the way it's a system that is the challenge, and a lot of time the problem is caused not the solution is there, but it's a system that actually is causing the problem and making it worse, and
go on.
We don't actually start asking intelligent questions anymore. And I always say, why, we're so advanced now, according to all the computers we've got, are not asking intelligent questions, And when we do ask these questions, why don't we actually look at the intelligent answers that give us a solution, rather than say, no, this doesn't fit in the prescribed step, which clearly doesn't work in the education system, and it hasn't worked for 20, 30 years. So I hope then to bring some light and to a lot of parents who children are deemed to be failures when actually not. So often I have my workshops and people say, I can't do maths, I'm no good at maths, and within 2 to 5 minutes the attitude changed because we've done the same thing, what I call the same but different. It's just doing. We get the end result. You don't have to go a particular route. It's like if you go from A to B, yes, there's one route to go from A to B, but it may well be there's some accident, then you have to go around to another route, but you still get there. And for some people, you can't just go the direct route. You have to go slightly roundabout a little bit.
That's right. Hang on 1 second, Philip. Sophia.
Yes.
Can you turn your phone the other way because you're literally sitting on your side?
This way.
That's it perfectly. Come
Great.
forward a little bit though, because you're literally right at the bottom of the screen. So come forward a little bit. That's it, perfect. Okay, so we'll come back to you in a minute, Sophia. So Philip, so when you actually come to the empowerment event, and obviously you're going to obviously do your talk and explain to people about their children and things they can do to work better and bring their kids into a better world really, and making sure that if the schools are not kept up to date with everything that's going on, and the system is not absolutely amazing how it should be and kept up to date, that it hasn't changed the last so many hundreds of years, and it's all about helping the parents get there. Are you going to be doing some of your maths expert on stage?
I hope so. I just want to give a quick demonstration how to change people's mindset, because there's so many times, when I do my workshop, I always have parents come with their kids or their grandparents or a member of the family. And so often, particular grandparents, who come, they're nervous and said, so why are you nervous? So, we're no good at school. We left school at 14 or 15 and back in our days, we're so effective, got no qualifications. I was told I was dumb, blah blah blah. And some of the parents are very, very nervous coming to my workshops. In fact, as a teacher, quite often in a parents' evening, some of the parents are more petrified than the kids. Because they have so many bad memories of school. And just doing a very simple thing to show them, they're not the stupid one, but actually it's either when someone said they are not good at maths, in 95% of the time, it's basically one of two things that's happened. One, somehow he or she's been, a teacher said something to him or her that made them feel stupid, inferior, or they've been given the wrong tool and method. So for instance, if you're someone's a left-handed person and you gave them a right-handed tool, it's not been very helpful. So one size do not fit all. Similarly, if someone's left-handed, someone's right-handed, you gave them a left-hand tool, that is not going to work well. So therefore, it's important to know that in probably about 80-ish% of the time, a particular method will work for about 80% of the pupils, but there's about 20% that method will definitely not suit it. And it's important to train teachers to have that flexibility, to have the skills to identify the learning style of the pupils. That is never been taught at teachers training. How do you actually identify the learning style of your student within 1 to 2 minutes of actually a lesson or your first lesson?
So just the last question to you, to Philip, and before I go on to Farah. When you actually go to the Empowerment Weekend, what would you like to take out of it?
What I like to take out is to the message that, first of all, there's no stupid people in the world, and people say I haven't got good memory. That's not true. It's trained people are not trained. We need to relearn things. Don't accept the conventional wisdom, because so far conventional wisdom do not work in most cases. That's why entrepreneurs now some are making fantastic money, because they're breaking the mold, because they're not going along with the things that don't work. They look at the thing obvious work. So the message is to come away with a new mindset, and you don't have to know everything. If you are an encouraging parent, you will give your child an incredible basis and platform to actually, for them to have the confidence and go out to learn things. I talk about my friend Sabrina all the time. She's a fantastic mum. She's given the encouragement to her 5 kids, and they are doing amazing things. Now, she doesn't know everything, but it's not important. But she gave them this atmosphere that whatever they do, they never fail. If they don't achieve it, it's an outcome. Okay.
Absolutely fantastic. Philip, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Are you happy to stay there just for a minute while I go over and talk to Farah? So, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, this here is we've got a panel of stage 25 speakers, 5-minute speakers, 10-minute speakers. It's very much, he's getting people to come in and tell you exactly who they are, because when you see them on stage, we don't want you going, so who's that? You know what I mean? We want you to know who they are. We want you to understand where they're coming from and actually what their background is. Because, with Philip, he come from a background. He moved from China, moved over to the UK, couldn't speak a word of English, taught himself English. He fell below on every single thing on all his subjects. And now he's a 10-second maths expert, and now he helps children and everything else. And something like that, it's interesting, but it's also absolutely amazing to know. And it's good for you to know exactly where these people come from, because so many people perceive that, people that are up there have always been up there and go, oh, well, it's all right for her, it's all right for him because they've done this, this and this. But the fact is, what people have got to understand is that people come from down there, they come from there. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's the actions and the mindset that you have. So this is the reason why we've got people like this. I'm taking my time out to make sure they get on this stage, on the platform, to make sure that they can come and tell you exactly what they're all about. Because we want you to know these people by the time they stand up on that stage. You go, I want you to wait for her, I want you to wait for him, I want you to know a bit more information, I want you to get that golden nugget. So let's go over to Farah. You're coming to the Empowerment Weekend, and it's nice to see you, and you're gonna stand up on that stage and tell people who you are and introduce yourself. So let's give you a little bit more time, Farah. Tell people who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm actually working for the National Health Service. and I have quite a strong corporate communications background. So a number of different organisations from the public sector to the private sector, and currently with the NHS. So in association with that, or pardon package of all of that, is that I actually work as a coach as well. So that's my sideline business, which I'm hoping to become, which I want to become, and will become a full-blown practice.
That's better. You will become.
Yeah.
So my sort of message is all about how to communicate with impact, because we all know that if you're a business owner, if we don't know how to communicate, but we have a great product or a great even service, we're going to leave money on the table if we don't know how to communicate our message effectively or powerfully. And the same way, if anyone's out there is working in the corporate sector, whether that's public, private sector, or third sector, if you don't present yourself in the right way, what will happen is that you'll miss out on opportunities. So, communicating with impact is really important for every single one of us.
Absolutely. And it is communication is a key element, because if you can't communicate, you no matter how much you take action, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So whether that's if you find that you can't communicate and stand on stage yourself because you're absolutely petrified, or there's something that you can't do, try a different method. Try going through social media. Try and write a book. Go through different ways of actually moving forward. And to become that person to actually communicate with people is not easy, and you just have to find the one that works for you. So when you come to the Empowerment Weekend, which we've got over 45 international speakers now, you've got multi-millionaires, you've got people that have been in business for absolute years, that have been there for a long time. Who are you looking forward to going and seeing?
To be honest with you, I'm looking forward to seeing absolutely everyone. Of course, it's going to be great, absolutely great to tap into the wealth of knowledge and expertise out there from multi-millionaires, from high-profile, celebrity speakers to, sorry, that's not what's that message coming across, and also to, people who've been working really hard to make this happen, like yourself, Bradley, and the team. So for me, it's a case of actually being able to learn and be able to grow and be able to network with, a whole plethora of people from all sorts of backgrounds. So that's
absolutely cool.
That's my answer, really.
Okay, no, that's fine. And that's a good answer. And the fact is like, it is good to actually, take in and be a sponge, because we sort of lose that as we get older. It's like, when we're around about like the ages of, anything from the ages of like a year, 2 years old, right up to probably around about 7, 8 or 9, we act like a sponge with every single thing. And as we get older, we sort of lose. I mean, if you can get people that are going to come and get the half price ticket for £198.50, to come and stand out the back with all the speakers, that would be amazing. Because you've got your £24.50 ticket prices, but then if you go the other end of the scale, for the sake of what you're getting, that's still only like, it's not even £100 a day, and it's still realistically, £5 a speaker, not even that.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity and a weekend that everyone should be coming along to. It's going to just leave you with, steps to take, into action straight away that you can start implementing into your personal life or professional life. If you want to join, Bradley's, business coaching program, there's great opportunity to do that as well and find out more and get to speak to people who have already enrolled in the course, and those people who are, considering enrolling on the course and asking more questions. So you'll be able to speak to the team and find out more about, the business coaching program and what other opportunities there are to actually, work with, your team.
The way I look at the weekend, it's almost as going to a Chinese takeaway. You take it, you say, oh, I have a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of that. I like that bit. So it's a different stroke for different folks. So and also some speakers you would not resonate with. You the other people you go, wow, you know. But it's different for different people. I mean, I've been told I need to improve my English, so that's why I'm gonna be hanging around a person called Maxine, because I think her surname is English, isn't it? Oh, sorry. Sorry. No,
Honestly.
no. So you know, each person will take away, you know, and you know, if you think of a price of ticket, it's actually it's less than a family takeaway, you know.
Yeah.
But the trouble with
And you're absolutely right, and it is. It's very much. Even though I love the analogy there, that was absolutely amazing. You know, it is literally. You've got all these different speakers. Like you've got a menu, and rather than you go in for like one or two things and go, do you know what, I'll have this today. It's like I'm going to have everything off the menu, and I'm going to try a bit of everything, and see what I like, see what I don't like, see what interests me, see what doesn't, see what tickles my taste buds, and see what don't. You know, and that's the good thing about this event is the fact is you. Events, you have to listen to whoever's there. You know, you might have like 2 or 3 speakers, and that's about as far as it goes. And the thing is, it's like because you've got such a massive choice of people, you know, there is going to be. I'd eat my hat. Actually, I'd get Philip to eat his hat. If you don't come away for that weekend actually taking something away, just as long as you take action with it, because that's the main thing is once you take action with it, you know, and you got the mindset, you took the first step, you're coming to the event, that is your hardest bit. You know, getting that money out of your purse or your wallet, paying the Eventbrite. Because all you do is you go onto the link, which I've put the link into the actual box. All you've got to do is if you go to this website here, which is www.yesyoucaninspiretoachieve.london. I'll also put that again into the comments box, so at least then you've got that, right? All you've got to do is click that website right there. When you click that website, you can have a look through, see exactly what it's all about. However, if you know what it's all about because you've been listening to us for the last couple of months and you know the ins and outs of everything, because obviously we talked about it so much, then you don't need to go to the website. All you've got to do is click the link that I've just put into the comments box. Click that link, that'll go straight through to Eventbrite, and it will say to you what you get for your ticket price. So whether you're going to be streaming because you're in a different country, whether you want to go for a £24.50 and go for a standard ticket and actually just be there on the day, soak in the atmosphere, get all the golden nuggets you possibly can. Just don't forget your pen and paper. Bring an extra pen just in case that one runs out. Bring an extra pad because you might need more than like 200 pages. You never know. And then once you've done that, you know, you can then move forward with it because you've taken the first step, which is the hardest. If you decide, you know what, £24.50, I want something a little bit more than that, then go for a silver or a gold ticket. You know, if you want to go higher than that and you want to meet everybody behind the scenes, you want to come and meet all our lovely speakers that are on here today, all the multi-millionaire speakers, actually get some golden nuggets, have some pictures taken, then get the top ticket of £198.50, which is half price. And basically with that ticket, you know, you get your goodie bag, you get a signed autograph book by Bradley, you also get pictures with all of us, you come to meet us all out in the green room, you can network in the evening as well, because we've got a networking event going on. So it's very much that you get so much more for your money and you're still literally paying not even £5 per person.
Exactly.
Maxine, can I just come on 2 things? You see, often when I meet people and I ask them, what do you want to do? You know, and they say, I don't know. You see, this coming back is how do you know what you don't know until someone actually make you aware of it? So on an event like that, when you have 45 international speakers across an array of experienced subject, and it may well be one person will trigger something off you, say, wow, I never even thought of that. Let me give a quick story. There was a friend of a friend who's a rugby player. He always viewed people who paint, do painting as a bit sissy and a bit, you know, weak. So he had a really bad accident and broke his leg, and he was in hospital for 6 months. And just out of sheer boredom, he started painting. Yeah, but unknown to him, actually, one of his friends took his paintings actually to an exhibition, and he actually won the thing, and he didn't know about it. You know, and to cut a long story short, eventually he discovered his paintings today is now selling minimum of £10,000.
Yeah,
wow.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
Exactly.
So he always viewed anyone who's a painter as a bit of weak, bit of you know, wishy-washy. And it wasn't for that accident you know, and his friend who had an exhibit his painting. First of all, he didn't. He had a talent that he's always had. That, you know, he actually was hiding that way, and he actually demeaned himself. So it maybe was someone that you meet in, not necessarily someone in a speaker. It could be someone you actually meet in the audience.
Yeah.
You know, and it will trigger off something in you. You know, my turnaround is because one of my teachers believed in me when no one else did, and that trigger process of being someone who's bottom in every subject to start my journey to start transform myself to who I am today. So it wasn't from Mr. Duff, that one person who said something. He said two things to me that totally turned my life around, and it could be something like that on an event. It could be one person says something very trivial to everyone else, but for you, that could be a major turn the key to open the door for you.
Or even wake-up call for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely a wake-up call.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter whether you are 18 years old, you're at college, if you've got a job in McDonald's, it doesn't matter if you're a multimillionaire yourself, you're a business owner, entrepreneur, if you're a single parent, if you're a retired person, if you've got someone that's got like a dozen kids around you, and as long as you've got the right mindset to say, I want to change my life, I want to move forward with things that I'm doing, I do not want to be in this day anymore, I do not want to be in this life anymore, I want to be something better, I deserve better, my kids deserve better. But it's in the respect of that you want to help other people as well as helping yourself to get out of a situation that you're in. You know, if you feel like that in your day, if you feel like that in your life, that you want to do more, but you deserve more because you've gone out there and you've given it all every single day and you just not got anywhere in your life. You know, you sit there and think, you know what, I just want to push forward and I just can't. I just don't know where else to go. I feel lost. This is the place to be.
Yeah.
Because we want all of you to be there. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. We don't care if you're Christian, a Muslim, I don't know. I don't know all these religions. You know,
Hindu, Jewish. Yeah, keep going.
Go on, keep going.
Or atheist.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. See, so we don't mind. At the end of the day, you know, it's all about as long as you've got the right mindset and you're willing to take action. We don't care if you're male or female. We don't care if you're 18, 30 or 80. We want you to come to this event and we want to make sure that we give you something special, because at the end of the day, all you've got to do is buy that ticket. And once you buy that ticket, you'll never look back. And I know people say to you, you know, yeah, but people say that. It's the reason why we're bringing these people on. Sophia, let's talk to you. Now, you've got how many children?
6 children and 1 on the way.
Honestly, football team.
Yes.
Every time I see you, you're pregnant. So
I love
your children, how old are your 2 children?
Okay, 16 to 2 years old.
Okay, so 2 of your children stood up on stage, did they not?
Yes, 2 of them, and now 3 of them actually. The younger one also started taking the same step as her brothers, her 2 brothers. Yeah.
Right, Philip, I'm just going to bring you down because I've got 2 more people in the lobby to bring up. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So say good night, and I'll bring the next person up.
Good night. Thank you for joining, having time with you all.
Speak to you soon.
So, yeah, bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, next person.
Okay.
She's coming in the house. Here she is. I'll come back to you in a minute, Sophia.
Okay.
Viola's in the house.
Hi. I'm so sorry. I'm in a train again.
That's all right. I said to you, you're more than welcome to come on. My special guest has arrived and she's come on. Oh, we can even get Maxine up because Farah's just disappeared on us.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hi, Maxine.
Hello.
Right, so Viola, let's have a quick chat with you because I know obviously your time is precious because you're on a train. What happened to the?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
Last first time we saw her, she was getting on a plane. Then yesterday she was getting on a train, and I said to her, "Would you like to come into the broadcast today?" She was like, "I'm going to be on a train again."
Wow.
I'm coming.
That's amazing.
I'm coming from Davos, from the Swiss mountain to the village where we're staying, and is because in Davos was all so overbooked, and but very very interesting day is in the World Economic Forum that happens once a year, and we also assisting to many network around that about education, about family, about women empowerment, about charity work. It's fascinating. So
Absolutely.
we start early, but I'm so happy to be here with you, and you know that always you count on me. It doesn't matter where I am, and here I am with you, ready for your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to bring you in because, you know, at the end of the day, is we've got all ladies here now. See, I've got rid of all the men for a minute, and we're all ladies here. Exactly.
Yes,
so you do a lot about women empowerment, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You do.
Because
Explain to people exactly what you do.
Well, I'm a psychotherapist and I'm a mentor, and I have a program of 600 hours where I train breath worker mentors. The first 200 hours it's to prepare them to mentor one-to-one, then second 200 hours to do work in group, and after 2 years of active work they come and they can get trained for mentoring mentors. So this is one of the things I do, but also I have a platform called the Feminine Capital Rhythm, and from that platform we do forums and we do conferences, and the idea is that there is one of the subject I'm working. We call it the personal law, and this is about doesn't matter how many law in the outside world are supporting women. Women have to break through one very important law, which is her inner personal law. She needs to break through the thought that she's not good enough or she doesn't deserve. Because until that thing is breaking through, we're not going to be able to benefit totally from what the world is offering us and keep expanding and keep growing. So this is one thing I do for women, is to work in there beyond what the world is giving us or not, or taking from us. We need to go through that, and then it's going to be much easier, much more possible. This is one of the work I do. Also, I specialize in relationship in couples and in recovery from addiction. And what I'm going to do now for when we're going to be together in the 2 or 3 of February is about how, according to our personality, how do we recover our feminine power, and how is the way that we lose it? How is it that we lose it or we misplace it, and how to recover it? So I'm going to be working with 9 types of personality, and because each one of us suffer in a different way and each one of us go to stress in a different way. So this is what I do.
Absolutely fantastic. And the thing is I can resonate completely with that, because I deal with a lot of people's confidence, self-esteem and their fears, and especially women out there that need that behind them because they've lost that through whether it's domestic abuse or whether it's through relationships and things like that. And I deal with that quite often. And you know, this is another reason why I wanted to get you on the screen today, because you know it's absolutely amazing what you do. I love what you stand for, and
Thank you.
because we've had had you on a couple of times now, and every time that you've been doing something, we've had to disappear you off again because you've like took off, or you know, you're amongst loads of people. So I just wanted to make sure that we heard you, because you know you've got such a power behind you, and you're one of our great speakers that's been doing it for a very long time. What kind of information could you give the ladies out there that don't have the confidence to actually be where they want to be, or they can't get where they want to get? What information, like,
Yes.
what thing would you?
Yes, I would say there is different way to work. You know, first of all, recognizing that you're suffering from self-esteem, low self-esteem, or your self-confidence is shaky is half of the process. That's good, because means that your defense mechanism are not that strong and you're ready to work in yourself. Later is to find out what are your best qualities, and usually you find out what are your best qualities by the thing you like most about yourself. But many times when self-esteem is so low, people cannot get in touch with what they like about themselves. So ask yourself a question. My best friend, what is it that they like about me? When people praise me, compliment me, what is it that they say about me? Recover your qualities and put them high. Make me an exercise about the 21 things, external and internal, that you like most about yourself. And also add to that the 21 things that you like to do most: dancing, eating, shopping, traveling. And then together we're going to build your vision and we're going to build your purpose. You can also find out more about this exercise in my book that I wrote in 1999 or published in 1999, which is Breeding the Rhythm of Success. So there is a whole exercise about that. If you manage to do this, it's already fantastic to move from where you are to be nearby where you want to be, because the book is going to take you step by step toward this exercise.
Absolutely fantastic. And then that's the thing, it's very much that, I mean, a lot of people, even myself back in 2011 when it happened with me, it was very much that my low self-esteem was through the floor, because I wouldn't put up with it, and I wouldn't put up with it now, but because at the time it was so low. And there is a lot of, I mean, it can also be men out there as well. There's a lot of people out there that have low self-esteem and they look after everybody else, but they forget to look after themselves.
Definitely.
They forget that you are number one, because if you can't look after yourself first, then you can't look after everybody else.
So whereabouts in Spain?
And I imagine that you see that quite often.
Yeah. Whereabouts?
Yes, you see that quite often, even in our field, because you can see from our results, For example, when people said, oh, women are very competitive and they fight, I don't like to work with women, some women say that. Actually, I get quite hurt. I say, no, this is not about women or men. This is about personality type. There is a personality type that is so hurt, so damaged that they didn't went through their own issues, and they go with their spade, moving it right and left, and accusing others of their pain because their wound's still open. So when you are in this field of mentoring others, you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be aware of where do you have your wound, and you have to be aware of the treatments you need. Many times you can treat yourself in some areas, but also you need to know about the principle of consultancy. When something happens, you can try and see how you can heal and how can you deal with yourself. But there's a time you need to go to
Oh, Viola on the train and she's cutting out. Let's
I think
see if
she's.
I think she's disappeared. So what I'll do is I'll put her down for a second and see if she comes back in, and I'll bring Farah back up into the section from the lobby. Right, Maxine. Oh, choking there, love.
Oh.
Right, we'll talk to Maxine first. And the reason being is because Maxine's literally got 5 minutes and she's got to disappear on us. She's been at work all day. She wasn't going to come in. And we thought we'd get her in quickly. So at least then we've given her 5 minutes, because I've not been able to talk to her at all. So double trouble. How you been? Bless her.
Better, to be honest.
Yeah. She's very much Viola. I'll bring you back up in just 2 minutes, my lovely. If you need to go, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to stay, I'll bring you up in a minute. Is that all right? Just thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Right. So you've not been doing too well. You've been feeling a bit ill at the moment.
Yeah. So that's why I've been having coughing fits. So sorry about that if I've cut into the other parts of the broadcast. I was trying to hold it in. Sorry.
Are you right? You should have said I would have muted you. That's not a problem. So you're going to be standing on stage. You've got 10 minutes on stage, and we haven't seen you for a while. It's nice to see you. So what are you looking, Max, to get from the weekend?
Well, just worked out the other day. It's been a year since I've known Bradley now. So it's really, really nice for this big empowerment weekend to come to fruition, and it's really, really exciting. So I'm really excited to be a part of the event and what will be on the 2nd to the 3rd of February. Sorry, 1 minute.
Don't panic. We're like, let her do coughing for a second. She's absolutely fine. Bless her. Okay, back with you.
Yeah. So, I haven't been around for a little while. Part of that, I've been ill for about 6 weeks, so that has really helped. And also my mum's been unwell. But what I'm really looking forward to about the event is all the fantastic speakers that are due to be headlining, and also as well all the other speakers that I've made a connection with throughout last year. And it's been really good to see, although towards the latter part of the end of last year, I might have not seen as much, but it's been really nice to see the development in the aspiring speakers coming up. So I'm just really looking forward to it, to be perfectly honest. I've got, like, obviously great speech sort of up my sleeve. Haven't been able to practice it that much, but I've been writing it down and stuff like that. And so I really hope that people get some sort of motivation, inspiration from that, as well as the rest of the weekends, and just learning so much as well. I do believe that there'll be great speakers like Armin Morin. You'd learn a lot about, marketing and there's many more other speakers like Andy Harrington. He would talk about speaking. So there's just so many different aspects that you can look upon and get your growth and your development. And it's a really good start, really, to 2019 and going forwards. I'd love to be able to talk more, but it's really...
Oh, that's absolutely fine. That's all right, Max. That's absolutely fine. So it's very much that me and Max actually saw Armin Morin. Well, it got to be what, September, October time, was it? Round about that time, wasn't it? We saw him, and I didn't know he was going to be there, and he was there, and he was talking to us, and the amount of knowledge that man has got is out of this world. I mean, we was both sitting there with pen and paper like this. There's me with a video. There's Max writing stuff down. We literally just like quickly get, and quick as he was talking, there was another bit of nugget, and I think in about half an hour, I think we brought back about 4 or 5 different nuggets of information that we can use in the business, which has been used. And he's an amazing man. And I mean, for people that have actually, that are going to be coming to the weekend, Max, I mean, what is it that? Who would you say, the one person you'd say that you're actually really looking forward to seeing?
Well, my guilty little secret is I love EastEnders. I love EastEnders, right? I can't let that. All these motivational, inspirational quotes, ditch the soaps. I can't quite let go of EastEnders, I must admit. I must admit, I'm really excited to see Daniela Westbrook. And it would just be fun to see one of the Mitchells.
Yeah, I can understand that. Is there any
Maxine, me too. I'm looking forward to it too. So, you knew what I was going to say. Oh my God.
So are you also a big Daniela fan as well?
Yes.
So you're looking forward to her. And the thing is, it's like where she's bringing her, is going to be her first speaking career. What I'll do, Max, is so you can cough. I've muted you, so you can cough as much as you like now. Bless her. Have a water, love. Have a water. So it's very much that with Daniela, it's like, for everything that she's been portrayed into the media, whether that has happened or whether it's the fact is it comes down to, and me, blunt to the point, plain English, I'm quite happy and quite open and raw to actually talk about it. It's very much that she's been portrayed in a certain way. However, we also got to remember is that we know how much the media blows things up to make things look the way they do. So, you know, we have to think about that as well. So it's also the fact is that, you know, she's still a mother. She's still a person. She's still got heart. And when we say to somebody that she keeps coming in that far, right? She keeps having problems with her phone, so she keeps disappearing on us.
Yeah.
So it is very much with Daniela, you know, we're looking forward to her being there and actually starting her speaking career because, you know, this time it's actually come from the horse's mouth because, you know, she can tell her stories in magazines, but how much do they change that? She can tell her story in the newspapers, but how much can they change that? You know, she's got a chance now to stand in front of 1,100 people, because that's how many people we're looking to get there per day, 1,100 people, and actually tell her story out of her own mouth, exactly what's gone on, what she's done, what she's gone through, her story, and the way she's overcome it and moved forward. You know, everybody is human. Everybody makes mistakes. But sometimes when it comes down to an addiction, you know, whether it's a drug addiction, whether it's alcohol, whether it's smoking, whether it's food, it doesn't matter what it is, it's an addiction. And sometimes that comes down that it's a disease. So when it's something like that, you need help with, if you don't get the right help, you don't overcome it. It's like people that stop smoking, I'm stop and that's it. You know, but they don't sit there and think, oh, I'm going to take a patch or take, put tablets on or anything like that at all. So the fact is, it comes down to, it's like, you know, if they don't get that help, they then go back to it in a couple of weeks later. And that's the same with Daniela. And it's very much that, you know, we need to hear it from her. And whether, you know, they see it as a negative thing or things that have happened in the past, that's in the past. This is her new life now. She's moved on. And with her moving on, she's strong. And for someone to actually go through what she's gone through, overcome out the other side, in front of the media, because that's hard enough on its own doing it yourself, but doing it in front of the media with so many millions of eyes on you and come out the other end and say, I'm now going to stand on stage to tell my story in the nicest way, it's past the watershed. That girl's got some balls.
Maxine, allow me to add this because addiction is not only addicted to drugs. There's people who are addicted to painkillers. And I'm not ashamed of, I used to be one of those people who really addicted to it, you know, go to the GP. And every single time I used to go, I used to feel my craving is just getting worse until I thought, okay, this must be a disease. This must be something that beyond me, something that I can't control. And then I began to start looking for the right people who could help me. Even though my background was psychology, I've learned drug and addictive behavior, but what you know that you learn is not going to help you. What is going to help you is someone to show you the right way and say to you, you know what, this is how it is, and you can take action and you can change it. So for me, I'm very proud of myself. I did overcome that, and right now I do help people who had a background of addiction, and you know, and it's easy for me to understand. So whenever I see someone that either media or either anyway, the public keeps saying, you know, this person, they really like, they don't have a life, or they're addicted to that, they don't understand. So I always feel people need to understand, if someone come to you and say to you, I'm addicted to this. So instead of labeling, what they need is like a help, offering help and showing them the right way and the right pathway that they can overcome. And it's not easy. It wasn't even easy, but the steps that I took, I remember each step was harder and harder, but at the end was like, oh my God, I don't take anything, even paracetamol.
Yeah.
So it does happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you all right to come on, Max? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. She's all sorted. She's all right for a minute until she starts talking, and she's going to be coughing. You can whisper. We can hear you quite well, so you're fine. So, you know, it's very much, so you're looking forward to, both of you are looking forward to seeing Daniela Westbrook. So, you know, you've obviously seen her, Maxine, when it comes down to seeing her on EastEnders, and now she's going to start her speaking career. And this is going to be, you know, it's a big thing for her. You know, you've worked with people when it comes down to the job that you do, and you've seen a lot with the stuff that you've done. And what does it take for someone to turn around and go, I'm actually going to stand up on stage and do that?
Guts. it takes a lot of courage. It's penultimately, it's about courage. There's a lot of people that will be speaking at this event for the first time, or maybe the second or third time. So for people to come on the stage, it will be a big deal for them, especially when they are talking about their personal stories. And I think that's even more so, in a way, touching, because someone coming on stage and maybe they're selling a product or something like that, yes, it has its uses. I'm not trying to say that it doesn't, because that's giving information and providing a service. However, someone that's coming on there and speaking about their own personal story, that you're giving away a bit of yourself. You're giving something that maybe you've never even shared, maybe with even close people like your family, so let alone to a group of people up to 1,000, is it 1,000, 1,100 people? So
yes, 1,100 people a day over a weekend.
So that takes a lot to take those steps, to be bold and courageous to do that, especially if you do know that you've got things where people might come across and be judgmental of you because certain things aren't seen as society, society might look down or upon you because of certain things that have happened in your past, or that you might not be believed. So to do that and just take the courage, and for me, it's about connecting with just that one person. That's one person. If there's one person on the stage, whilst I'm in the audience, I connect with that one person and I make a difference to one person, then to me it's worth it. And I think that's probably what everyone, is going, especially the aspiring speakers, because the aspiring speakers are coming with their personal stories that are going to motivate, encourage, inspire, and also just highlight to people that, do you know what, if I've come from this situation that's really bad and not so good, and I've come to this situation, and actually so can you. And life is ups and downs, right? It's a roller coaster, and it's about how you take that journey. So, for example, I'm in a bit of a downer right now. I'm not very well, but it could only must go up again at some point, right? So, and that's what it's like with everybody's life. No one just goes through life plain sailing all the time.
That would be really boring as well, wouldn't it? Because if you went through life plain sailing, and Therese, if you want to come in, my darling, you've got the link. Just get yourself in. I'll put you on mute a minute, Max. So you have a quick cough. So it's like, if life is just plain sailing and you just did every day was exactly the same, not only would it be really, really boring, is you wouldn't appreciate the really good things that happen to you, and you would be grateful for those things, because unless you've actually gone through bad times, whether you've gone through adversity, whether you've gone through all these different things, it's very much that, you then appreciate the good things that you do get. And Sophia, I mean, there must be things you've done in your life that you've gone, that you thought, you know what, I'm glad that I've actually gone through that. I mean, even when it comes down to you taking, the painkillers that you did, for you to go through that situation, come out the other end, how many other people can you help go through that situation that you've overcome?
Oh my God, a lot. And the thing is, now my journey was a long way, how I get there, how I came out. And then I started really resonating the people who are really like, been my situation. And I don't know how it's happened. Everything happens for a reason. for me, I was the first thing that I said to myself, I'm really grateful to, you know, feel this way, to feel like more vulnerable, to think only the painkiller, it was the solution of my emotional pain. And in terms of, you know, thinking, and then when I look down, you know, deeply, I thought, okay, this was where the light crossing out, because that at that moment it was a bit darkness, but that darkness was shocking my heart and making me a new person for tomorrow. That's why now the people that who come to me, and the people that even I do travel and see them, mostly that the people that who are addicted either to negative thinking, to addicted to either any other kind of addiction. Because for me, I don't describe addiction as only the drugs or painkillers. Addiction could be not changing your life, sitting one place that you don't want to, like, for the last 10 years, or maybe you're working for a company that you stay in just same thing that you're doing. So that way I call addiction. So when people come to me, I always say to them, go back and find yourself, you know, what is it? What is stopping you to come out this addiction, or to, you know, break this barrier? So then they start beginning to follow the, you know, the method that I've used. And to be honest, I've seen a lot of results, so that the people, when they just figure out who they are, especially self-discovery, understanding who they are and knowing, appreciating what was the pain was. So for me, because of my background, I wasn't born here in UK, and my issue, it wasn't only painkiller addiction, it was even the language barrier when I was coming. So all of that struggle was, for me, something was pushing me forward to make me better person. And each day it was something that I should be grateful. Otherwise, I would have said, if it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be who I am today.
That's right, exactly that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about tonight, we've got these lovely ladies here. We've got Sophia Mohammed, we've got Maxine Winter, and we've got Therese Dipdoan. And these lovely ladies, we've got Therese. Therese, say hello.
I think
Therese,
it's the...
Are you there? Can you hear us? Therese, can you hear us?
I think it's still stuck.
Yeah. I don't know if I can sort of see her. Can you hear us, Therese? She was going just now. Let's take her down for a second and get her to come back in again. And we've also got Maxine Winter there. Now, Maxine, before you disappear, and I'll let you go coughing and whatever you need to do. One last thing to the audience is, obviously you're going to come and tell your story, whatever you're going to decide you're going to do, and say to the audience the reason why they've got to be there. Apart from see Danielle Westerville, which is obviously you're going to be sitting next to her for so long.
Oh, well, I suppose the weekend is going to bring about a holistic package for you. So there will be different areas and topics within your life. It might not all be relevant to you, but a lot of it will be relevant to you. There's going to be so many great speakers who a lot that I've had the pleasure of actually knowing and working with in the past. There's going to be things where you can actually improve your business. There's going to be things where you can improve your health and well-being. I think I need to take a leaf out of that book right now. And there's going to be motivation, inspiration, and so much more than you can even ever impossibly imagine. You know, it's, I think sometimes to expect the unexpected, because if you have this thought in your mind, just think of it as 10, 15, 20 times better than what you are actually originally imagining. It's going to be great.
That's fantastic. Max, I'm going to put you down there, my lovely, so you can actually go and have a cough. Wave goodbye. See you later.
Bye.
Bless her. Right, I'll bring Philip up, and at least then we've got Philip here. So Therese, we introduced you, and then all of a sudden you got stuck. So can you hear me now? Oh, she's stuck again. No, Therese, can you hear me?
No.
Therese, can you hear me?
She's moving around.
Therese, can you hear me? No, she can't hear me. She needs to come out and come back in again. Okay.
I think we can hear her.
We can hear her, but I don't know if she can hear me. Therese, can you hear me? All right, let me send her a message. Philip, you want to do a quick maths thing, don't you?
Do I? No. I was just going to come in on one quick comment. I think.
Okay, you do that comment. I'm just going to ring Therese in Norway, because this is where she's come from, to let her know that we can't hear her. And while you're doing that, you're taking over the broadcast for a second.
Okay, so
I'm
when
going to do it myself.
So when Maxine was talking about that, Daniela, I think that the two things that came into my mind is, there's the old saying, a dead fish flows down the river, a strong fish will swim against the tide. And also the greatness of a person is not what he or she have achieved, it's what they have overcome. So so when someone has to have Daniela has overcome so much challenges,
and then come back in again, and then we're good.
I think that the greatness is in her.
All right, sweetie,
yes, I know some things. We all have done things bad in our life, But the thing is, when someone have the bravery and the toughness to say, okay, I've done wrong, but I'm actually going to turn my life around, not only for me, but for my family and so on. So that's why I would say for Daniela, what she's doing is phenomenal, because so it's the greatness is not what you achieve; it's the things that you have overcome. And when we look at so many great people in the history of the world, it could be anything. It could be poverty. It could be someone who's actually will say, the doctor say, you will never walk again, or you're paralyzed for life, and they actually prove them wrong. So they actually have done whatever they have to do to actually prove people wrong. The fact when most of us just walking, we just take that for granted. But someone who's been paralyzed, and all of a sudden they're actually walking, that is phenomenal. The pain, the sacrifice, the endurance that person goes through. So I think, although I don't know much about the Daniela, except the things you hear about that. So I am personally looking forward to spending time with her, to actually to get to know her better, and to, especially on the Empowerment Week, to listen to her full story.
Absolutely, and it's good to hear it from her as well, rather than hear it through the grapevine. Therese, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can.
Fantastic!
Finally. Very good.
So that's a quick talk with Therese. Therese,
it's my time to shut up, because I want to listen to our gorgeous Norwegian
Okay, I'll put you on mute then, Philip. I'll put you on mute. So you're coming all the way from Norway today, and thank you for joining us, because I know you've been absolutely manic, but I wanted to get you on here because you're one of our speakers. You're coming all the way from Norway to come to London to come and be here for the whole weekend, and tell the people the reasons why you get up in the morning, you pack a suitcase, you fly all the way to the UK from Norway, you get off, you get a hotel room overnight, and you actually turn up. That's a big action to take. So tell the audience here the reasons why someone would get up out of bed and travel 10 miles down the road compared to someone flying across countries to get here.
Exactly. I haven't thought about it that way, actually, until you asked me that question. Now it's a good question.
But I ain't coming now.
No, you would be difficult. I love you. You know that. I came to a point where I realized, I've been going in so many loops and circles. My life has been a replay, just with different wrappings, but the core has been the same. I've never really done the things that I really have, dreamt about doing, or the things that have, are in alignment with who I truly am. So when I realized, only not a full year ago, that I'm still working on things that I love, that I want to do, but one thing I really haven't, chased yet is my dream of becoming an international speaker. And when I realized that, that I'm still going in the circles and I'm not taking that step, truly because I didn't know who I was. At the age of 30, I felt like I'd lost me completely. I didn't know where to start. I didn't have my own voice. I was just a product of everyone else's voices. So it took me a while to actually become aware, to understand what's been going on, and then to realize that, yeah, I have this voice and I can use it to serve people. I know there are more people like me. I'm just so, tired, Maxine, of living in mediocrity and not, playing and living alive and breathing full out who I truly am. I've been holding back my whole life. I just didn't realize it until real late in my life. That's how I feel. And I felt like, the 30 something, my life was completely wasted. I had no idea what to do. But I realized that we all have an inner voice, and we need to voice our messages and make our stories heard. And that way we can serve other people as well and bring our fullest potentials out, to the world. And that's our gifts. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now.
And you know what? It's amazing as well, because it's like there's a lot of people. I mean, I remember back in the day when I was at school, what do you want to be? Oh, I don't know. And you don't know. And the thing is what people don't realise is as we get older, we're winging it, because, people turn like 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and some people still don't know what they want to do. And this is the thing, and it's like there's a lot of people out there that are lost. And if we can do something, is that when you actually find yourself and what you want to do, what you want to be, what you want to become, and you find your why and where you're going, it's like you see a whole new horizon and you think, do you know what? I want to help other people get there. Yeah. But it's when you're on the boots on the other foot and they're in that place and they look at you as up there as a speaker and they're like, but they're very negative, because they're like, I don't know how to get there. I don't know what to do. So how did you overcome that? What did you do to go from turning your life round and round in circles, doing the same thing day in, day out, to actually take the action, do what you need to do to become a speaker or whatever you decided to do in your life, and actually come to the UK and do it as well?
I think to me, it became, to the point where it became too painful not to start and take those steps. And I still clinch to, even if I don't have, I don't move as fast forward as I sometimes want to. I still feel like it's a victory when I've done a baby step. So I work toward it every day. It's just that, I grew up with, I also realized it's related to my money story. We all have our money stories. And everything that I wanted to do when I was young, people told me you can't do that because you're not going to make money. And so I grew up thinking, and even my emotional link, I found out that later my emotional link to money was that I couldn't be me. I can't be me. I can't do what I love and live and breathe fully. And so, what I realized is, it takes courage to occupy your true space in this world. It really does, because you are going to meet the ones with good intentions and tell you not to do that, and so the message you get is, in a way, it's like, if you do that, you're stupid, or if you do that, all these things that you make up also within yourself and your child. And so I really just came to the point, and where I thought, as long as I'm not in alignment, life actually becomes a little dangerous, because then you start making decisions that are not in alignment with who you truly are, and that leads you on a path of a lot of stuff that I know that it has shaped me. It has given me a life experience that I can share today. But it has actually taken me, through bullying, through broken relationships, through domestic abuse, violence, through, exhaustion for 3 years, through living under the poverty line in Norway for 2 years, all these things that I just know, if I had been in alignment a lot earlier in my life, and if I could have lived my truth earlier, if I had known, then I would have done that. But now I know. So now it's like, there's no excuse now, because now I know. So now I can do something about it, right? And that's why, environment for growth is really, really important. And in my hometown right now, I don't know anybody doing what I do. But I found my tribe, right? It's you guys. So I'm taking my son along too because I want him to see, like I told him the last time we went to London, you're going to feel the difference. You're going to feel the difference in energy. You're going to feel the change in mindset. I mean, he changed completely just after 2 days, spending days waiting on Trayshawn Benzalmi, who's his mentor. They're really, close friends. So I could just see that change, and that's also why I want to take him back, because I know that he's given gifts on his way, on his journey, for him to also realize that there are other, like I said to him, life, starts outside of this box called or apartment and your school. And like for me, education is important, but the real skills you need to thrive and to live your life to your fullest potential is actually without, outside of that box. Because the skills you truly need to thrive in life the way things are now, you find them through meeting people like you that have lived through different stories, and you have used certain strategies to come to where you are today. That's why I think, emotional education is extremely important too, to manage and direct your energy, take ownership for your emotions, especially because they are your guidance system, and to really use them, to find who you truly are too, and to stay in alignment in everything you do. So, yeah.
See, this is exactly right, why, ladies and gentlemen, we bring people like Therese over from Norway, because she's absolutely amazing. And she's got so much to say, and she's been through a lot of adversity in her life, and she's overcome it by taking action and going, do you know what, I need to change. I know I do, but how can I? And then she found how she could change. She took the action, and she's coming over again. And it's absolutely amazing. I met you, was it September or was it August?
It was in August.
Yeah. In August, yeah, in August, and you got such an amazing heart, and for you to move forward how you have, I can't wait to see you again and give you a big hug in February. It's going to be amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to say to you is, this is the last lot of stage 25 speakers and 5 and 10 minute speakers that I'm bringing on to you, which I've been doing over the last 3 weeks.
I have to just send Philip a digital hug. I knew Philip.
Oh,
you guys, he's just an extraordinary person to me. I get teary just thinking about him, because he actually was a stranger to me, that, the stranger that is a friend you didn't know you have. And so I get chills and goosebumps, truth bumps all over my body. Philip talking about it, because, you actually gave me confidence in a moment where I really needed it. So I trusted that.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure.
And I trusted the process, and that's actually also part of why I'm here today. And I'm still on my way back to London. I can't wait to hug you. So
I'm looking forward to seeing you and to meeting up again. So I'm really, and your son as well. That's going to be amazing.
Wow! Wow! I can feel the energy vibration here. The energy. So yeah, I am.
So you can imagine what you're feeling through this on what we're doing here right now, and whether I'm talking to you three on here, whether I'm talking to everybody that's sitting at home listening to this, whether it's on your phone, on your laptop, or whatever you're doing, even if you're working and you're just listening to it in the background. It's very much the energy that you feel here. This is just over a screen. Imagine what it'll feel like if you're actually amongst your 1,100 people that have got the same sort of mindset, that are actually there for the same reason, all going to take action, and all have that kind of connection. Because Therese, tell people that when you came in August, what it was like at Yes You Can, when we was in the room together, and also you, Sophia, because she was there as well.
Yes. I think we shared on the stage together with her son, I think, and my son, and both of them the same day, and back in September or August. So either two.
I was in both. So I was judging in September, and I was standing up on stage in August.
I was same. I was both of, both two events. Yeah.
And Therese, you was there in August, and you was talking. So
yes.
Yeah. So I mean, used to have had first hand of exactly how Yes You Can inspire to achieve work, and what it is like when you actually meet up. And we only had 100 people there. Now, Sophia, you go first. What was it like?
Okay. To be honest, it was a door opening for me, even though I've done a lot of different speaking and everything, but seeing people, the inspiration and positivity like in the room together, I felt really powerful. That's why I came back for the second month, and I had to make sure I have to book for this. The weekend is coming. So for me, what I would say, anyone out there, make sure the 2 days for you to get there, because you're going to take for something life change. Definitely, because it's not for you attending there, but the words, the wisdom that you're taking it with you and you implement. Even your subconscious mind will soak in so many things that the different people, different background, and different businesses, multimillionaires. And I can't imagine, guys, for you to be there is something very beneficial. I just want to share with you guys, back in 2017, I've attended similar events, and I remember my book was completely full, the note taking that I was taking, and I was like, wow, haven't I not been there, I wouldn't have all of this. So make sure you got there and learn from all the experts, because you can only associate, if you want a success in life, associate with the right people. And getting there and associating with those people, you will have so many different ideas. It's not only ideas, but you will learn a lot, and that also going to be life changing and for life. So
amazing bit of information there, Sophia, and it's exactly that. It's exactly what you said. I can't even add anything to that. Therese, and your take on the thing when you actually come to Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve. Oh, you still there?
I think.
Yes, I am.
It's your turn. You explain to the audience what you felt when you got to Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve.
I decided already in August that I wanted to come back. I think it's especially a special group of truly heart-centered people, and you can feel their heart on the sleeve. They're there to serve, support each other, and help each other in anything, and celebrating with you, your highs and your lows. So I think, I've been to different events for my personal growth. And I must say that this is like the most warm, heartfelt event that I've ever been to. And what I love about it is that kids are included too. And for me as a single mom, to bring my kid was just extraordinary for me. So that was also my priority for sure. But, just being there and to feel it, feel what it feels like to be in an environment like that is called addiction.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You come once, you love it so much, you've got to come back.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, I've seen that as well, because similar, my children, for the first time that they came with me, like, wow, Mom, we want to go back to Yes You Can again. And I was like, wow, that was, for me, it's just like the same thing. I was like, oh my God, I want to see that my children have an inspiration that where I go, so they can come with me every time that I want to go to events. So even now they're looking forward to it, to come with me. So it's amazing. It's really amazing when your children are with you, and yes you can. The thing is, the same thing. It's not only included for elder people, for children. And also the first time that I came, what inspired me even to bring my children back was when Sabrina's daughter or son, when they were speaking on the stage, I was like, oh my God, the amount of confidence and the amount of sharing that they were sharing with the all beautiful people, that was completely, and it seems to me, all of us, we need to encourage young children, because they're the generation that today will rule out, because without them, without not including, I don't think is a way. And what I love about Yes You Can is they include children, and definitely that's what, for me, it makes me to keep coming back again and again.
Well, this one is age restricted, so make sure you speak to Bradley first about that, because obviously we're not going to have little children running around this time, because there's going to be like 1,100 people there. So
definitely I will do that.
For it's like there's no under 14s there, because by actually doing that, we don't want kids to get lost. We can't keep an eye on them. There's just not enough security in such a big area, so it is going to be an adults only thing. So Philip, I mean, you've been to Yes You Can, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, Philip, sorry.
Well, for me, actually, I'm coming to save money. Actually, people say it's not about buying tickets. I'm actually coming to save money, because obviously being a very old person, who wants to save on the heat, and also being an international heat scientist, that's why I've got to be hanging around very hot women. So I'm here just to save my heating bill. No, I'm joking. No, but
Philip's like this all the time, ladies and gents.
Everything you say is true, because it's to be inspired, and but also ultimately we're getting ideas from people how to be inspired. The motivation has to come from us, but sometimes we need role models, and in lots of different things in life, we just don't actually have role models. And even people say, wisdom come with age. That's not true. That's not necessarily true at all. I have to unlearn lots of stuff over the years, because I suddenly realized lots of stuff that I accepted as the truth. They're not true at all, because they're outdated. If I carry on the same way, it's not true. So it's nice to be inspired, to have fresh ideas, and to re-examine what we have learned. And you ask the question, if something is not working, is what you're doing sensible? And sometimes someone just say something to you that trigger a process, and then say, stop. Stop carrying doing what you're doing. It's the old definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And
exactly.
So many people, are carrying on that thing. And certainly when I actually come to different people, like the Yes You Can, and sometimes, let me give for a simple example. People see a glass of water and you see half full or half empty. For a long, long time, people say, if you see the glass of water half empty, you got a negative attitude, and if you see it's half full, you got a positive attitude. That's wrong. That's just the way. Sometimes people put an interpretation to things. There's no need to put an interpretation. That's just the way you see it. It's neither negative or positive. Actually, my friend Ben Charles said something that actually was quite amusing, and I said to him, and Ben said, my glass is always empty, and I said, well, why is that? Because he said, when it's full, I drink it all.
Trust him. Trust
me. No, so again, sometimes we need someone to shake us out of our so-called the conventional wisdom, because they may have worked 100 years ago, but things have changed. So all the time, if it's the old saying, if you're not growing, you're decaying.
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've run out of time here. So if literally, Sophia, if you say just one more thing to the audience and then say your goodbyes, and I'll put you down.
Okay, great. So guys, the time is running out. So take your chances and come to this weekend. I know that, Maxine, thank you so much, very much, because when I met you on Yes You Can event, I remember the connection and everything. But right now, every day seeing you doing the broadcast and putting the word out there, the people, and definitely I'm sure if you're at home right now and thinking, my weekend, I'm gonna take it to somewhere, just consider this 2 days that you will learn something that you will never ever regret about it, and something will change your life. So I'm very grateful to be here today, and I can't wait to be on the 2nd and the 3rd and enjoy my weekends. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Philip, and for yourself, my lovely, one last word, and I'll leave you to go down.
No, so with so many people, you're squeezing in probably collectively 1,000 years of knowledge in 2 days. Where else can you get that? You could read all the books in the world, and you will never get those information in one place in 2 days. So it's worth, even if you get 1%, take away 1% of the knowledge from whoever, that 1% is probably more than 100% of someone's knowledge that you and your friends. So those 2 days for you, one piece of information could actually totally change your lives.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Maxine.
Say goodbye.
Bye-bye then.
Hi, Therese. Okay, so I thought I'd bring you up for the last bit. And I would like you just to say the last thing to the audience before I put you down.
Well, what I want to say, first of all, the 2nd and 3rd of February is going to be amazing. I think that it will be a life-changing and a mind-blowing experience. There will be a lot of wisdom there, a lot of knowledge, business-wise and personal growth-wise, you know. And I want to thank you, Maxine. I know Brothers is out stewing on something for sure. But thank you for the job and all the amazing energy you put into, you know, branding the event. And I see the people that are coming, and I can't wait to be there. I know it's going to be amazing because I already met you guys, and I know what kind of information and knowledge and wisdom you all provide. And just get yourself over to the event, 2nd and the 3rd. It's going to be amazing, and you will make connections and relationships there that will last for a lifetime, because I know I already done it, and I can't wait to get to know more people, and most of all listen to their stories to learn more and to serve more. Okay, see
Absolutely
you there.
amazing.
Sending
Say
you.
goodbye.
Bye.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I have just given you, over the last 3 weeks, over 25 people to tell you exactly that they're not only they're going to be standing on stage, that they're also where you were, which is they decided to take action, buy themselves a ticket to come to a Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve mini event where we had anything between 40 and 100 people there. We did those mini events over July, August and September last year. And by coming to those, they got to know us, they got to know a bit more. And because they know that we, not only do we give a lot of content over, and we're also like a big family, we like to grow our family as much as we possibly can. And it is all about making sure that we give over the content and give you something back. And what happened is by meeting those people, it's grown. And we are very see-through. We're very raw. What you see is what you get. You know, you'll have Brad sitting there, blowing his nose, you know, somebody having a drink, having a swig, whatever he's doing. You know, there's me tripping over my words. It happens, right? Because it is raw. What you see is what you get. Yesterday, we come to you 10 hours over at Alfie Best's place. And Alfie Best brings, you know, his business is worth £500 million. In revenue, and the thing is to have someone like that and go into their offices and spend the day there to see the life of the day of a millionaire, you know, of what, you know, what the amount of work that he does. He's like non-stop. He's like a machine, and sometimes you have to be like that, and you know, to actually do that. But we didn't want to just broadcast you like we did on the 30th of December. What we want you to do is we want you to show you behind the scenes, to show you exactly what we do and how we do it. You know, we have all the screens and we have it, and all you see is a little square box with just a camera, and it's just like just us, that's it. But in between, you know, all these things that are going on the screen, which is like things that I'm doing here like this all gets done by us. And the thing is, you know, we like to show you all this because we like to show you we're honest, we're open, we're there for you, we're like a big family, and we want you to be part of that family. You know, Yes You Can Inspire to Achieve is all about helping everybody else. It's all about making sure that we've done what we can in the respect of helping ourselves. We know that we've got to a certain level, we can go, do you know what? We've learned enough. We've gone through enough adversity. We've gone through lots of learning experience, lots of training, that we want to now help you. And at the same time as we're helping you, we're also still learning. You know, you never ever stop learning, no matter if you're, you know, 18 to 75, 80, 90, everybody learns something. So what I want to say to you is I've come to you over the last few weeks. You know, we've done loads of broadcasts over the last few weeks, whether we've got the top speakers like Viola that I brought into you today, or whether it's a stage 25 that's going to get 30 seconds on stage to introduce themselves, say who they are, what they do over 30 seconds, have their pictures taken, have a signed book by Bradley, and actually come and meet all the people backstage, or whether it's somebody like yourself that actually is going to sit in the audience, listen to all the golden nuggets that are going to come their way, and actually, you know, help them move their life forward, help them move their business forward, and just to make sure that they do something with their life rather than just doing the same old. And exactly what Therese said, where you just end up going around in circles and you don't go nowhere in your life, and you get to that rock bottom, you go, do you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to take this anymore. So have you got yourself to that level? Have you got to the point you've gone, do you know what, I'm sick and tired of being just over broke in a main old job? That you're sick and tired of being at home and you actually want to go back to work? Or the fact is that you've just left school, you've gone to college and it's not really for you? You know, it could be any one of those. You could come and get yourself a £24.50 ticket. It's half price, £24.50 ticket, and come and sit in the audience. You can then spend a little bit more and go to the 100, the 200, you know, whatever ticket you decide that you want to go to. You know, if you go to the VIP top ticket, which is the diamond ticket, you get to meet all the VIPs out the back and get to ask them questions and have your pitch taken. Now, if you've got a business, that's where your celebrity branding comes in. That's where you get to meet Daniela Westbrook. That's where you get to meet Alma Marin. You know, you've got people like Greg Walker, Tony J. Salimi. You know, you've got all these people that you're going to get so many more nuggets with just by being out the back. So, you know, come and get your ticket, whether it's from £24.50 or it goes up in segments. You've got 4 different things that you can go for, right up to £198.50. You know, it's absolutely an amazing event. You've got loads of speakers there. I'm not going to keep telling you because you'll be sick of it by the time I finished. So I just want to say thank you very much for being online. If you want to get your ticket, I've put it on the link already. All you got to do is click that link that I've put in the comments box. Just click it in. It goes straight to Eventbrite. It shows you everything you get in your ticket price. Everything is on there. It's all explained. All you've got to do is go on there, click it, buy your ticket, turn up. It's at Earls Court in London. It's at the Islet Hotel. If you need to know exactly all the other details, all you've got to do is go to www.yesyoucan-inspiredtoachieve.london. That is also in the comments. All you've got to do is find it, click the link. By clicking the link, you can go in, find all the details that you need to do. Find out about the 12, which is myself, and obviously you've got Rajan, Beata, Roxanne, and a lot of the others. Bradley Chapman is going to be there. He's going to be hosting it along with Alfie Best. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. You know, and I don't want my life going around in circles. I want to move forward in my life. So here I am saying to you, I took action. Look where I am today. And, you know, for me to achieve the things that I've achieved, you know, I never thought about broadcasting. I never thought about, you know, starting up business and life coaching. I never thought about that I was going to be standing on stage public speaking this time last year. You know, it was all new to me until I spoke to Brad. Started speaking to Brad in April, and I went to his first event in August. And since then, I've never looked back. And then you see me on all the time. Okay, so we want you to move forward too. It's all about, you know, expanding your head, expanding your mindset, taking action, moving forward. And I just want to say thanks very much for listening. It's been absolutely amazing. And you take care and book those tickets. You've only got a few days left. Take care. Bye-bye.